Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at the ComicLink Winter Featured Auction. So ComicLink has monthly auctions, and sometimes I feel like it goes on for weeks at a time, like the entire month. But every season they do a featured auction, which is like the best of the best books. Now, Heritage with their signature auction always has the greatest books, like the biggest and the best books, but ComicLink is not that far behind. Unfortunately, because they don't report to GPA, we never get any of the sales data of it. So I wanted to take some time and just go through some of the big books they have for auction today. And as of today, they are about 5 or 6 days away from the first round of books ending. All right, so let's take a look. So here we are on the ComicLink website. So we go to auctions, go to the Winter Featured Auction. And when it pops up, you can see here session 1 begins to end on Wednesday, February 26th. So when you first pull it up, it's always done alphabetically and by the first book that ends, right? So Action Comics is first, and you can see some really nice, really early Action comic books. First appearance of Lex Luthor, Action 23, and I skipped over Action 15 as well, and some nice solid grades as well. Action Comics 59, a 9.4 with Superman taking apart the Nazi tank. But anyway, so if you first pull it up this way, it's just done alphabetically and by order in which the books end. But what we're going to do is we're going to sort it a little bit differently. We're going to go by the current bid, which means the highest bid. And we're going to choose descending because it'll show the highest bid first and then descends down from there. And that way we'll get an idea on what the biggest books are that are selling right now. Okay, so as of now, the biggest book in the auction is a Superman #1, 3.5 off-white to white pages, currently sitting at $150, $150,000 with 6 days to go. And just a great book. Now, some of you know I'm not the biggest fan of this book in terms of being a key issue. Of course, it's Superman #1. It's from 1939. It's a key issue, but there are no big first appearances. There's no big storyline. It says the origin of Superman, but guess what? It is not even the first time the origin of Superman is told. The origin is actually from Action Comics #1 in his first appearance. So there's nothing spectacular about the book. It's a classic cover. And it's a Superman #1. So still a great book to own. No, I've never owned one, so this is not my jealousy coming out. It's just in terms of key issues, there's nothing big that happens in this book. Still a big grail, and there wouldn't be bids up to 150 grand if, people didn't like the book. All right, I'll skip over the original art, although it is notable that this piece of original art is over $100,000 right now, and it is the first panel where you see the symbiote. So pretty big deal, big piece of art, one of one. All original art is one of one, right? It's the only piece in the world. All right, let's look at a few more of these, and then we're going to sort a little bit differently, look for some other books. But Detective Comics 33, it's a 7.0, and it's a Rockford pedigree. This is the first appearance of Batman's parents. You can also see the gun holster around Batman's belt. I think it's the first time we see that. And the origin is, I believe it's the first time the origin is told. So that's a pretty big book right there. And it's at $43,000. Then we've got an AF-15 and a 5.5. And when you look at it, pretty nice. Not much Marvel chipping on the right-hand side. In fact, I really don't see any Marvel chipping. So nice book. There are usually a ton of AF-15s in these auctions. So you see this 5.5 here, then you look and there's already another one, right? A 4.5, a couple books down. But in between there's an Incredible Hulk 181 in a 9.8 white pages. It's currently sitting at $37,000. Now, I think recent sales of 9.8 white pages are in the 70s. They've been as low as the 60s for white pages recently since the correction started a couple years ago. So it's got a long ways to go, right? $37,000 to get up into the 60s and 70s. Still 6 days, but usually there's not a lot of action, right? There's a ton of action early on in these auctions. Then it's dead. And then the last day, and especially the last hour and last few minutes, is when a majority of bids come in. So it'll probably stay at this or close to this for quite a few days now until we get down to the last day. Then again, an AF-15 4.5. Turtles, 9.8, off-white to white pages, currently at $32,000. Daredevil #1 in a 9.4. Wow, that's a big book. And this book does not command a whole lot of money. Look, it's only at $27,000 for a 9.4. If you got an AF-15 and a 9.4, this would be multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm pretty sure. So Detective Comics 140, some nice golden age. First appearance of the Riddler. See him in all his glory there on the cover. It's really nice when you have a big first appearance and they are on the cover, right? It's like a 2-for-1. So that's a huge key. And that's why it's at $26,000 right now. Another AF-15 and 3.5. I have a feeling we'll see more of these. All right, here's one. Fantastic Four 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. So big book. And obviously with the new Fantastic Four movie coming out in July, I think it's July, the trailer just dropped. A lot of you know I'm not a fan of the trailer that came out. And by the way, I took a lot of heat for that, right? Got a lot of hate on my post. I did an Instagram post, and my goodness, you can't express your opinion without people getting upset. I'm okay if you have a different opinion on it. I'm happy that some people are really excited about the movie. I'm excited about it too, but a lot of people did like the trailer, and I think that's good. I'm a little bit worried. I think it looked pretty darn boring, to be honest, but for a 1-minute trailer, it really doesn't tell the story, right? So fingers crossed that this movie is good. But when it comes to the Silver Surfer, first appearance in this book, I think the one thing that they did wrong, a lot of people are upset about, is that they cast not the Norrin-Radd Silver Surfer, but the Shalabal Silver Surfer to be in this movie. So I'm hearing some rumors that maybe Norrin-Radd is going to show up in this as well. And I think that could be the best thing that they could do is, why skip over the original Silver Surfer and go right to the next one? I don't know. You know what? Even if Norrin-Radd isn't in it and the movie's great, I'll be the first one to say, wow, they did a great job on this movie and I liked it. And I'm just a little bit worried based on what I saw in the first trailer. We'll see what happens. All right, so that book's at $25,000. You have an X-Men #1, 8.0. Captain America #13. So some really nice golden age here with Cap beating up some Japanese. Is that Toho on the cover there? Who is that? Let me know. But this is the classic Remember Pearl Harbor issue. It's an Al Avison cover. It's a very, very valuable book, obviously, and that's why it's going for $23,000 right now. But classic cover with a lot of historical value there. All right, Wonder Woman #1. It's not her first appearance. Her first appearance was in All-Star Comics #8. No, not even Sensation Comics #1. It was before that. But this is the first appearance of Ares. So nice little key and a nice grade. Hulk #1. Incredible Hulk #1. 6.0, creamed off-white pages. Very, very nice looking cover. Again, you've heard me say this. This is the rarest of the Marvel Silver Age keys by far. And to find this book in mid-grade or higher is somewhat rare. And you look at this, there is not a lot wrong with this front cover. Very solid. Really nice. And then as soon as I say it's rare in mid-grade or higher, you see another one. There's a 5.0. This one's white pages. So it'll be interesting to see a 5.0 white pager and a 6.0 cream to off-white. Where are these prices going to end? Right now, they're exactly $3,000 apart. I don't see that difference growing by a whole lot. People are willing to pay a big premium for white pages on these rare grails. You've got a really high grade first Green Goblin, who is my favorite of the Spider-Man foes. It's a great cover, except the, vacuum/broomstick thing that he's riding on. That's a little odd, but Steve Ditko did a great job on this cover. Just not a big fan of what he's riding on. All right, another Hulk 9.8. This one off-white to white pages, and again, those are like in the 50s range. The last off-white to white page 9.8 sold in the 50s. It's got a long ways to go, but it's got a longer time as well. Still 11 days on that one. First Punisher, 9.8 white pages. Another Daredevil one, 9.0 Red Hood cover, Tech 168 in an 8.0. And it's the Davis Crippen. It's the D copy pedigree. And the reason they call it that is because, and I don't know if this is on all of the pedigree copies for the Crippen pedigree, but when you look here in the middle of the D of detective, there is a D written in pen there. So hence the D copy designation. All right, but a big book. And I wanted to talk about this one just a little bit. So this is Marvel Spotlight number 2. It's the origin of first appearance of Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell, our favorite werewolf. And just look at that. Look how cool that stance is right there. I really enjoy that artwork. So when you go to GPA, we're going to look this up. Marvel Spotlight number 2, 9/8 white pager. This is a square bound book. Almost impossible to get in a white pager. All right. Scroll down to Marvel Spotlight right here. Number 2. When we look at GPA, this is the second volume. Here we go. GPA does not have any recorded sale of a 9.8. 9.6 sold a few months ago for $6,000, but no 9.8s. And this one is currently sitting at $15,500. So a jump from $6,000 up to over $15,000 with time to spare. We still have how many days left? 6 days on this one. I am guessing there have got to be 10 or less 9.8s. 3. There are only 3, and who knows how many of these are white pages. We know this one is, but my goodness. Wow. Over $15,000. Will it get to $20,000? Maybe. We'll see. But this is a rare, rare book, and it's no wonder with only 3 in existence, and it could be the only white pager for all we know. Yeah, this one's going to go for a lot of money. I expect that to go a lot higher. All right, we've got ASM number 1, 6.5, another key issue that's not really much of a key. Again, I'm going to make some people mad saying that, but it is issue number 1. That's the biggest significance, I think, other than J. Jonah Jameson. This is the last solo Batman story before Robin, Detective Comics 37. And let's see, anything else big on this page? More Hulk 1s, another X-Men 1. Nice Golden Age Schomburg cover. 9.6, Human Torch number 13. And when you look at the detail of some of these Golden Age books, I love the artwork from the 30s and the 40s, even the 50s. But there's detail on there, just little subtleties. Like this woman is all tied up and she's about to be dropped into this snake pit with all the poisonous snakes and the cobras. And you see this guy here is cutting the rope. There's one strand left, but his sword is broken in half by Toro, saving the day here. And Human Torch is flying in and grabbing some of these snakes. And, you know, then you've got Submariner here peeking in the background with this triangle head. The little nuances of the detail are what I like. All right. Another AF-15, this one a 2.5. Big grade for first Kingpin, 9.4 white pages, ASM 50, and so on and so forth. A 9.8 giant size X-Men number 1. Marvel Spotlight number 5, which is the first appearance of Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. He is definitely coming to the MCU, right? I think last I heard, there was a rumor that who was going to play him? Ryan Gosling. That's who it is. So I think he's a great actor. He will probably do well in anything that Marvel puts him in. But I'd really like Disney or Marvel to find some new blood, right? Find some new talent, people that, you know, you haven't heard of a million times before. But if it's a known actor and they do a good job, I'll love it either way. All right. All right, let's do just a quick look at what's at the top of page 2 here. Oh, Iron Man, first appearance in Tales of Suspense 39. So this is interesting. Well, not that interesting, but a little tidbit. So collectors that are really picky, when they go for this book, they're looking for the double quotes on both sides of Iron Man and for both of the double quotes to be shown. So on the left side, they're always shown right over here. But when you go onto the right side, a lot of these copies are cut so that part of the quotation marks are missing. And you can see here, you almost get the entire double quote on the right-hand side, but the pickiest of picky collectors, and I don't blame them, they want to see both double quotes and then they want to see some space in between the quote and the edge of the book. And this one does not have that. Still, it's better than some others I've seen where like you almost have the entire double quotes cut off on the right-hand side. That is how much the cut of this book varies. And it happened a lot in the Silver Age. But anyway, now you know. All right. And then Avengers #1 and a big 8.0. Solomon Grundy's first appearance in All-American Comics 61. This is a huge Golden Age book. And I have not read this book before, but I believe Solomon Grundy was someone who died and they threw his body into a swamp. And I think this is this swamp area here. And somehow he comes back to life. Those are the details I don't know. I don't know if someone put a spell on him or some witch doctor or whatever, but somehow he comes back to life and here he is coming out of the swamp. But just this cover with the orange full moon in the background and the bats flying around and the fog or the mist in the air. I love that stuff. Just, there's nothing like Golden Age art in my mind. Don't get me wrong, there's some modern art that's fantastic as well. But I just have a thing for that. All right. Fantastic Four 112. So I did look this one up earlier. There are 11 9/8s in existence for this issue. Don't know how many are white pages. But this one, I mean, it's nice. It's a 9/8. It's a black cover. Hard to find in high grade. But the cut is off a little bit. The wrap is off. You see the white line down here on the spine is about half the thickness as it is at the top. So it's not terrible. It's just, if you're going to spend big money on a 9.8, you want that wrap to be a little nicer. So, I mean, it's still going for big money. What's it at right now? It's at almost $8,000 and it'll go higher. Some more Cap. This is from the Promise collection. Cap 29, 9.2. Another Schomburg cover. I think the Promise collection is the most recent pedigree that was named, right? This a few years ago. Guy who went off to the war and his brother saved his books for him. So nice story behind it. And other than that, some more Hulk, 181s. This is interesting. Hero for Hire #1. This is the first appearance of Luke Cage. It's in a CBCS slab. It's a 9.8. And this is something I've never noticed before. And I don't look a whole lot at CBCS slabs, but exceptional white. So for those of you that know, is that equivalent to CGC's white pages? Or does CBCS have white pages and then a step above that is exceptional white? I'm not sure if they have that. I'm not sure what the purpose is, but you know, what's the difference between white pages and exceptionally white pages? So maybe they have a scale on their website. I haven't gone and looked, but that's something I never noticed before. Just another little tidbit for everyone. If you know, put it in the comments. Really high grade ASM 41, first appearance of the Rhino. This is my second favorite Spider-Man villain. Awesome grade. Really nice looking there. First Vampirella. Let's see. Anything else? Another ASM 50, or I'm sorry, AF 15. My goodness, so many. All right, Captain America Comics 74. So this title went up to 78, but the timely issues only went up to 75. So this is the second to last timely issue, and the last two had the weird tails on the cover. And this is the most valuable of all the later issues. Issue 74, it's the classic Red Skull cover. You don't hear much about the artist, Martin Nodell. He did the cover for this. It's just really creepy, but it looks amazing. And it's got the little Marvel comic. If I try to point at it, it goes away. But it's got the little Marvel comic symbol on it to the left of Red Skull's head there. Really awesome. High price book. A little over $6,000 right now. All right. So those are the big books. The only other thing I wanted to do here is, of course, you know what's closest to my heart is Bronze Age horror. So I wanted to take a look at what kind of Bronze Age horror books they had. So let's look at House of Secrets first. Do they have anything big? Well, they've got the first Swamp Thing in an 8.0 and white pages. So that's the biggest of them, right? That's already at $2,400. Man, even this book has come down in price. House Secrets #1, there's the Sphinx getting its head torn off. And then Secrets of Haunted House #1, Louis Dominguez cover, 9/8 white pages. This sea creature coming out of the water and searching for the kids that are hiding under the boat. And you see the lighthouse in the background. Nice detail. Louis Dominguez did a lot of great Bronze Age covers for DC. And then another semi-big one, Secrets of Haunted House Number 5, great Bernie Wrightson cover, black cover, hard to find in high grade. The wrap on this one's a little bit off as well. Nonetheless, this book always commands a premium. Awesome cover. The creepy jack-o'-lantern with the monster beckoning. All right, so that's House of Secrets. Let's try House of Mystery, and then we'll call it a night here. All right, House of Mystery. Oh, another Bernie Wrightson cover. House of Mystery number 211, a classic vampire cover in a 9.8 off-white to white pages. Look how awesome that is with the dead thing coming out of the ground, holding the crucifix, and Dracula trying to fend it off. Really nice detail there. Dave Stevens cover. Elvira number 11, 9.8 white pages. Dave Stevens was hot for like the quickest minute ever. And prices skyrocketed, and then a majority of his books dropped down to where they were before just as quickly. But man, did they skyrocket for a quick minute. Another Wrightson cover, House Mystery 193. People carrying the dead body and the wolf dog on the chain there. Voodoo Vengeance is what it says. And then the only other one is, this is a 100-pager, House Mystery 224. I don't know who did the cover for this. It's 9.6 white pages. It doesn't say it on the label. And not my favorite cover because it's just kind of cartoonish, right? Not the classic gothic bronze horror look that we're used to with DC. But nonetheless, getting these square-bound thick books in high grade is really tough. And you can see the 9.6 is the highest grade. There's not even a 9.8 out there. So just under $300 for that one. All right, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. We saw the big books. We saw some Bronze Age horror. You have 5 or 6 days left to get your bids in. ComicLink Winter Featured Auction. Lots of great books. Let me know your thoughts. Which ones you like? Which ones are you going for? If you want to tell me. Until next time, have a great day.